Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for April 15th through 18th, 2022. Well, we are heading into the full moon in Libra energy, very powerful. The activation is happening, coming up here this morning in Mountain Time. Hopefully you can join us today or catch the replay for this Libra full moon because it's very powerful. This Libra full moon is happening in exact, almost 2 degrees out of exact square with Pluto. The sun will come into that square with Pluto just the day after the full moon. So with the sun and the sun in Aries and the moon in Libra, the sun's coming to the end degrees of Aries, the moon to the end degrees of Libra at 26 degrees. This is a bloom of the energies of these signs, particularly Aries, because we've had such an expression of Aries in Aries season. Aries is about claiming back our life force, is about living and zest and power and movement and starting. And so there's a huge energy for empowerment. And with the Libra full moon in exactly opposite, it's about balance and harmony and coming together for solutions and peace and justice. So that energy in square to Pluto and Capricorn is saying we've got to take our power back from where we've given it away. The world that we know we're here to co-create and that we want to see, and that humanity absolutely has to choose in order to continue on this timeline, requires us to claim our spiritual sovereignty, our power back from where we've given it away. The only reason we're in this mess is because we forgot, got disconnected, and were manipulated or willingly gave away access to our power to fuel the matrix. We don't even know we've been doing it, but now we've got to take it back. So this is everywhere through all lifetimes that you have ever allowed any other force, entity, person, being to have access to your power. And how we got here is that we were programmed to fear our power, which makes sense. Probably started back in Atlantean time with Atlantean catastrophes. So the technology that we know is available and yet we don't have is also available in our own body. We literally have a Tesla coil in our body. And perhaps we as advanced souls need to claim back this power of light body, of free energy, to show this to the world before we can have free energy for humanity. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting for our world to adjust, to reflect the energetic and spiritual changes that we've been feeling. And yet, it seems to be just going along at status quo. And yet there's this growing feeling that there needs to be massive change reflected in the world that we see. So this says that this change is about us one by one claiming back our energy and our power wherever you have allowed outside energies to stake a claim on your incredible potential, your creation energy. And most humans, especially in SuperNova Souls as well, just kind of operating along, trying to get through. We've been so poisoned and so messed up and we're so programmed. And it's like, so all of that leads us to give away our power and not own it. And it's then the narcissist situation of this parasitic reality. And we so easily give over our energy and power and don't even realize we're doing it. But this is what's happening in your life right now, because this Libra full moon is bringing this to the foreground. So wherever you've been leaking out your energy, there's an issue there. And maybe that's what it's about. And so we're learning to contain and seal our energy. And I think, I can't remember if it was the last activation or the one before where we got this great message, just direct message from source. It was just so powerful. And it was like, Contain your energy. That's what source intended. That's what creator intended, is for us to contain our energy. It's ours. And this whole messed up reality is able to go on because we haven't owned our power. Must be pretty powerful. So, of course, as we go to activate, and we've had very activating energies with this Jupiter conjunct Neptune, beautiful spiritual energies of miracles and blessings available to us if we can be present and reach out and grab it and know we deserve it. Part of this Aries activation with this full moon in square to Pluto is giving us the confidence and power to begin to direct our life again in the way we would like it to go, in alignment with a more appropriate timeline. And the Aries energy is this empowerment and kind of like, yes, I'm going to do it. I can do it. I have the strength. It's like, and so we've got that, but it's bringing in square to Pluto, bringing up everywhere where we haven't been able to do that. So for SuperNova Souls, there's been, with all this Pisces energy, there's been a lot of grief coming up, deep subconscious grief over where you have given over your power, where you bought into the lies, where you trusted the wrong people, lifetime after lifetime. You know, it's like shame around how far we've gotten off of our spiritual path. This is part of the energy. So we've got that empowerment of this moon, but everything coming up that's keeping you from claiming your autonomy and your sovereignty in this life, in this world. And then we've got Neptune and Jupiter together in conjunction. And this is bringing us beyond the veil. So that's where we're finding these feelings of like, and it means you're actually moving in life. If you're feeling grief about where you haven't been able to move, then you're starting to move. And that's the energy that's coming. But once you start to move again, once you have access to creation energies again, that's where you're going to find the fear programming that's keeping you from coming into your full power that you didn't even know you had. So it's a very interesting time because it's like this Jupiter Neptune is slipping us beyond the veil. And we're finding like these facing feelings we haven't been able to address or to that we even knew we had, deep suppressed energies of, and this is interesting because it's like what's coming up is like against ourselves, like feelings of self-condemnation, judgment, and shame over how far we've gotten from our spiritual truth. And that's really interesting because it's like SuperNova Souls have been kind of waiting for the world to catch up in a way. And now we're recognizing where we've been, thought we were moving forward perhaps in our spiritual evolution, but actually stuck in old patterns. But these are showing themselves now because you can't get to the magic and the blessings beyond the veil until you deal with the garbage that's hiding the blessings, right? Like everywhere that has not been addressed, suppressed emotions, fear programming, all that, it's got to come up as you move beyond the veil and get to that access to God consciousness that's available in these times. We've had Jupiter and Neptune exact since the 9th, very close together, and still here through the next couple of days in this Libra full moon. So it's really beautiful. It's leading up to this full moon, and it's a window into that subconscious. So the square with Pluto is bringing up everywhere we haven't been able to look at and face. This is part of the supernova story, is that apparently for whatever reason in this particular lifetime, we just have gotten to the point where we can address a lot of deep subconscious stuff. So if you wonder why you like, how did I get so much karma? Like, what did I do? And it's like, it's different because this is stuff that we haven't addressed because the energies and our consciousness couldn't quite go to these places. And then it's like we saved it all for this life. And so this life has been like a constant karmic cleansing, but it's all about to start paying off with this particular shift. And the blessings are there, the spiritual blessings. And we've been so cut off and disconnected through programming and technological control energy from the miracles and blessings, from the energy of spiritual connection. You know, really throughout time, this has been the thorn in the side of the control energies. And everything that there's been, all the manipulations of humanity have been designed to keep humanity from first knowing their power and knowing their connection to source. And when you feel connected, you don't fear. You don't fear death. You feel a part of something greater. And this energy is just so available to us right now. And it's been so long. So there's a lot of emotions both ways of like opening up to joy and peace and like surrender to your spiritual process in a way that you haven't been able to. And this energy of blessings and reconnecting with your guides and with your source, your connection to your highest self and source. But there's also those deep repressed things that you haven't been able to find yet coming up too. So it's like, that's kind of this energy of this Pisces bloom. But we are supported in this because we have Venus in sextile to Mercury and Uranus. This is huge. Mercury catching up to Uranus. Now, this is exact on the 18th, just a couple of days after the full moon, but for this full moon energy, very much engaged. And so Mercury right now catching up to to Uranus and making a sextile with Venus. So Mercury is our day-to-day mind, perspective, reality. Uranus, our higher mind, higher vibrational frequencies, future technology, ancient wisdom. And so it's all about accessing this power we have right here in our own body and understanding it with our mind. Now, the effect of this Uranus vibration has like a disruptive vibration. For Mercury in Taurus, it's about the stuck places of our mind and psyche. It's undoing, it's like, it's short-circuiting programming, which is really good, right? Because we want to get out of the matrix. But when that happens, it feels a little disconcerting because it's like, who are you without it? You know, you thought that that's who you were, but a very powerful process. And so the meeting of the higher and the lower mind, an interruption of mind control energies. And in Taurus, it's all about wealth and resources. Now, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So in sextile to Taurus and Pisces, it's Venus is what we want, what we care about, what matters to us, our values. And in Pisces, it's about spirituality and connection. So we're defragging and short-circuiting the programming that's keeping us from that feeling of spirituality. Maybe then we can forgive ourselves a little bit better and realize, oh my gosh, so much has gone against. Yes, I've gone away from my path and lived everybody else's life, you know, but the programming is so huge and everything that's gone into trying to keep us from this. And then when you come back to it, it's just so incredibly beautiful. So the undoing of the mind control in order to satisfy your more true spiritual desires. And the Aries full moon, the Libra full moon with a sun in Aries, it's like, claim that shit. And isn't it time to usher in this world of peace and justice? You know, humanity evolution has been there for so long, but we have been so manipulated and so off track and so programmed. And so this astrology is a very unique combination where it's like giving us the empowerment and to see what's in the way of where we have given away our energy, and that slipping behind the veil so you can understand the deeper subconscious Also the grief and pain that's been suppressed, but then the miracles and blessings and a reorganization of our life according to a new value system, which has been our same value system. We just haven't been able to live from that place. I mean, a part of the deal with a human condition is that you can't come into this earth without going against your human nature. And for SuperNova Souls, it's so strong because you came in as an evolved soul. You came in as a purified, sensitive soul that's like, wants what's good for everybody. And then with a world that's going completely in the opposite direction, not supporting life. And then to even engage in your mission and whatever in your past lives, again and again, we found ourselves in situations. And isn't this what the narcissists want to do? The narcissists want to bring you down to their level and torment you so much that you begin to act like they do. That's their main goal. They want to just disconnect you from your intuition, disconnect you from yourself, and get you to act in that behavior, be in that vibration, and then they've won. And that's exactly what this whole evolution has done. And maybe what we're feeling in the collective is how many very souls that are good, but got caught up in really bad things. And this is a big part of the next chapter for humanity, is coming to terms with how far we've lived against our truth and nature, how far we put our money, tax dollar payers' money, and energy into very, very dark, not supportive of humanity or life energies and things. And so maybe that's part of this grief coming up of where we, for us personally, where we've had to go against our nature and got off our spiritual path, and healing and forgiving ourselves for that. But then this collective thing that has to happen in this next step of our evolution, of the exposure and the disclosure of what's been really going on, and how many regular, good, trying to be good people, humans, have played a role in deep and profound satanic evil without knowing it, and having to face that and going along with the program because everybody else did. Whew, it's not pretty. So that feeling you're feeling, you might be kind of like feeling the collective in that energy, and this is the thing. SuperNova Souls, we're here to lead the way. So this is an example. When we address that and forgive ourselves and get on with it, right? It's like we're supporting humanity and facing their transgressions, their ego death, and everything that needs to happen in order to turn the wheel on this reality. So powerful. And like I said, this combination of events is really intense and beautiful, and an invitation to just slip through to the other side, to begin living from a place in that higher timeline, in connection, in co-creation, in peace and harmony within, and paving the way for that to be in the collective consciousness. So a big shift yesterday is that Mars moved into Cancer. So now we've got Mars and Venus in Cancer. Mars moved over into Pisces. And so we've got Mars and Venus both in Pisces, and Jupiter, Neptune in Pisces. So huge Pisces bloom of this going beyond the veil and taking back our magic. We've gotten that message, right? We can't get out of the Piscean age until we take back the miracles and blessings. And that's what the gateway, the archway is open to these if we can receive, if we feel worthy. But if we're feeling like we're beating ourselves up because we're so far away from our path, then we're not going to be able to receive these blessings. And so be present this weekend. Let yourself have a spiritual experience. Let yourself come back into vibrational resonance with this truth of who you are. And there is a big shift in May when Jupiter moves over into Aries. When Jupiter goes over that Aries point, that's a huge energy of a rebirth of Christ consciousness. And that Jupiter expands whatever energy it's in. So right now it's in the Pisces, and we can use that, and it's powerful and it's beautiful. But then Aries has that fire, that gumption, that oomph. And so maybe we want to be ready to move forward, clear this house, be in our spiritual presence, be in our vision quest, and be ready to move and act in new directions come May. It's Black Moon Lilith that is moving into Cancer. So this is going to bring a different energy. Black Moon Lilith is our the deepest, darkest secrets. And in Cancer, it's about mothering and nurturing. And it speaks to the dark feminine that has been disguised, in our disconnection from the true great mother energy. And then being dependent on forces that appear to be good, but are actually and beautiful, but no substance, no love, and a deep, dark lie. Because we're going to find out these people we've been taught to worship, we have no place giving them even any of the basic respect. Like, they won't be able to walk down the street when we find out the truth of what they've done. And so the Black Moon Lilith is about the dark secrets of the feminine and distortions of the feminine and distortions of the mother, and coming back to our mother energy. Because this is what's the highest timeline. The new energies, miracles and blessings are about, how great there's miracle energy, but how, if we can't receive it, if we don't feel worthy, then what are we going to do? And this is kind of what's been happening throughout time. It's like these big surges of spiritual energy, but humanity hasn't been able to grab a hold of them. And the dark forces deliberately do negative creating to try to undo that spiritual blessing. And that is now coming to an end. And so we have to rise up, SuperNova Souls, and open our hearts and receive the spiritual blessings and live and breathe in this other world that's way more supportive and in alignment with who we really are. And so very powerful. So the full moon activation starts here in 12 minutes. So I hope you'll consider joining this full moon in Libra. It's a full 24 hours day before the actual full moon, but it gives us an opportunity to really settle into these energies and make the most of these powerful times. So I look forward to seeing you there at that Libra full moon activation, or on the replay. We're working outside of time. So if you bring your energy, you make your offering, you come, you can receive these blessings that we're working on collectively. So beautiful, the supernova field that we've been building with these activations and coming together. And the work that you do then is available to support your whole tribe. And you can gain from this as well. So I look forward to seeing you there at the full moon activation, Libra full moon. Very powerful, or on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.